That's funny. Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You gotta click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live and when I have sort of a setup like I have today. This is not the typical setup. I am home, traveling home to Pennsylvania, as you can see behind me. I did test out the connection before I came on here, and so we should be good. We should be good on the connection. Like I said, I tested this out, and I wanted to have my phone on me, actually. Hold on one moment. I apologize about that. You can see behind me, it's actually a really nice, um, peaceful setup that my parents have here. It's one of the interesting things when so for those that are not familiar, um, I reside in South Florida. I'm in South Florida, and so I come home twice a year. I come home once during the summer, and I come home typically at Christmas. And I come home at Christmas, and let's see here. I come home at Christmas, and it's very tranquil here, very nice. My parents actually just recently, in the past couple years, ah, on cue, a train. I grew up with that sound. It's interesting when you move away, like the subtle things that you miss growing up as a kid that you didn't fully appreciate, just because when you're around something all the time, it's just human nature. Um, but I hear the sound of a train that I used to hear as one of the things I actually, very surprisingly, I missed. One of the biggest things I missed when I had moved. Also, if you're following me on Twitter, if you scroll down here, you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on YouTube. You can even follow me on Instagram for some gym motivation as well as TradingView. I had picked this up from the liquor store today. This is actually, as the phrase goes, when in Rome. This is a Pennsylvania bourbon here. So I'm going to enjoy a little bit of this. Oh, wow. That shit is okay. That's pretty strong. I was not expecting that. Okay, that's double oak. I don't know. Okay, wow. That is some strong Pennsylvania bourbon. Wow. My mom was not kidding. She tried a tiny little sip and, and reacted accordingly. But wow, that shit is strong. Guys, before we get into the charts today, and I tested all this out, so I'm hoping, drop me some comments here if there's issues. But I tested this all out. I published a private video to make sure that the audio was working and the video was working. I see Jorge's in. What's up, brother? Let's see who else we got here. Ah, good. The connection is live. Thank you for verifying that, AW team. What's up, Rashid? Glad to see you in here. I'm missing my clicker button for the ding, ding, ding. Before we get into some of the charts that I wanted to cover today, and there will be time to take your questions. So if you have any charting questions, feel free even now to just drop them in the live stream. Um, on Monday I released a video on Digibyte. I hope that was well received by you, by the community, in viewing that one. If you guys haven't had an opportunity, take a look at my analysis on Digibyte. I think the video that I'm most excited though that's going to come out this week is actually dropping tomorrow. And in the video, the TA video that's going to drop tomorrow, it's going to be covering Bitcoin and my expectations going into the 2024 halving. To give you a little bit more information regarding that video, there are two main scenarios that I am evaluating going into the halving, and I discuss each in that video that's going to drop tomorrow. I highly encourage everyone to check it out. It's not a very long video. I think it's 8 minutes. It's an 8 minute video. It's not very long, and I think the 8 minutes is well worth your time. And then on Friday, I will be dropping a video on XRP in terms of my expectations now that the lawsuit news has been out there. Things have gotten resolved. Just doing an updated analysis in terms of my view on XRP. It's not going to be in this video coming up on Friday, but something I also want to take a hard look at is sort of fine tuning my expectations on an all-time high for this blow off top. Whenever that is, you guys know I'm in the camp of predominantly this year, could bleed into next year. What do I realistically think will be a top for XRP? That's not going to be in this video, but that will be in a subsequent video, probably the next XRP video I put out. I've kind of spoken into it in the past, but I want to fine tune roughly what I'm expecting. So with that being said, who else we got here? Greg, glad to see you in here. I remember you were on the last live stream, Greg. Let's jump into the charts that I had prepared. So let's first take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin. I got a sobering reminder from my mother before I came out here that Bitcoin's under $30,000 again. Yes, Mom. Bitcoin is under $30,000 again. Funny enough, when I was here 2 years ago and put out a video on YouTube with my parents, Bitcoin was actually in the midst of that expanded forward flat correction. We were around $28,000, interestingly enough. So not much has changed, right, in 2 years. So what is going on here? I intentionally left this formation up here. We had a valid bull pennant, which has since broken down. I'm going to delete this line here. Okay, the target was 35.5. And I had tweeted out, I believe, on Sunday. I think on Sunday I said, damn, that is strong. I had tweeted out, wow, that shit'll get you hammered. Don't know that I can drink all that. Wow, I don't know that I've had a bourbon that strong. Now that this bull flag has broken down, I've really identified this orange box as a primary bounce zone. And again, this is a lower time frame. I think the majority of you, it would behoove you and benefit you most to zoom out on a higher time frame and evaluate how price data looks. But I want to keep you well informed in terms of shorter term price action on the lower time frames. And you know, on this channel, if you're not familiar, 12-hour chart, a lot of historical significance on the 12-hour chart. And so the way I've identified this orange box, and I am entirely counting on this orange box to be a huge bounce zone. We have two areas of price confluence, 29,600, which we have already bounced off of. Okay, we've already bounced off of there. And we have this line here at 28,200. But look at this 200 SMA. For those who are familiar with this channel, you know the historical significance that the 200 simple moving average plays with Bitcoin on a 12-hour chart when we are in the middle of a bull run, or when we are in the middle of accumulating or getting these higher highs and higher lows coming in that are ultimately going to lead to a blow off top. Historically, what does this 200 SMA act as? It acts as support once price gets above and we get that golden cross and both moving averages are moving up. That's what we have. So this, to me, this entire zone here, this is a heavy bounce area to me. I would be surprised. I would be surprised if we went under 28,200. If we do go under 28,200, what I would say is you're going to get some sort of wick. Maybe we go down to 27.5 or something like that. It's going to be some sort of quick capitulation volatility wick before we start moving back up. There's nothing, just to let you guys know, there's nothing about the price that is overly concerning to me. I had commented, I'm going to be fully transparent with you guys like I always am. Tomorrow, make sure to tune in tomorrow because I'm going to be announcing who is coming on the channel. I'm extremely excited to begin collaborating with other individuals in the space whose technical analysis I really appreciate. And the first individual that will be coming on the channel will be next Wednesday. I'm going to make that announcement official tomorrow, so I'm really excited to have him on the live streams. But when I was chatting with him and kind of, just kind of going over what we thought made sense to cover when he came on the channel, in full disclosure, something I shared with him is I said, hey, whoever you are, I would be very surprised. I would be very surprised if by the time you are on the live stream, Bitcoin is not at 35,500. Because again, remember, if my primary hypothesis is correct and we're going to see a blow-off top this year that's going to eclipse $100,000, we really need to see bullish momentum sustain itself and to begin to enter a parabolic fashion within the chart, okay? July can't be sort of this stagnant month. It for me, that was sort of put into question A couple things that we could address after month close, okay? But I really want to see that bullish momentum pick up here in July. And again, one of the things I continue to highlight on this channel is we are 18 over 31. We're roughly, ballpark, we are 60% through the month, okay? Quick actuarial math there. We are about 60% through the month, and you might say to me, well, CBG, we're sitting at like 29,800. How could you feel confident or think that there's a reasonable probability that we could touch and be all the way up at 35,500 plus before the end of the month? Guys, look what happened last month as a reminder, okay? These big moves that come into crypto, these big moves that come into Bitcoin, they happen in a very short period of time, okay? All you have to do is go back in time, move left to see it, right? Look what happened last time we were down here in June, okay? Remember what I said about June. I was anticipating June to be a very big month, and was it not a big month? Now, during the month of June, look what happened. This entire time period from, let's chart this out real quick. Let's take a look at it. If we're just looking at June, right here, okay, right here to all the way here to the 23rd of June, for the first the first 16 days of June. So for just over half the month, nothingness. And then all of a sudden, after those 16 days, you had a sudden sharp, my mother is being funny. Hi, Mom. Love you, Mom. All right. See you later. All right. Time to check out. All right. So for these first 16 days, nothingness, right? And furthermore, in May, okay, if we go back to May, it really started back here. Really from April. I mean, if you actually look at this. So from April 23rd, I want you to keep this in mind. From April 23rd, we were all the way up here at 30,800. And for literally 2 months, all we did was this. We just consolidated and corrected. And then in a short span of time, okay, from June 16th, it was from June 16th all the way up until June 23rd. So in 1 week, we completely erased that consolidation, okay? Let me restate that. 2 months, from the middle of April to the middle of June, all we saw was downwards consolidation, which, by the way, that's what this is called. Even though it's moving down, it is called consolidation. Consolidation just doesn't go like this. For 2 months, we consolidated. In 1 week, we completely erased that correction. Completely erased it, okay? Again, would not surprise me one bit. At this point, I'm actually anticipating it. Now that we've lost this 50 simple moving average on the 12-hour, I am fully anticipating getting somewhere close to this 200 SMA. We don't have to necessarily touch it, but to get some sort of price width that's going to come close at least to the 200 SMA before we bounce. I am anticipating a bounce. I'm not anticipating coming down here and doing this shit for the next month. That is not what I'm anticipating. I am expecting some sort of violent move at some point similar to what we saw here. Again, those are the type of violent moves that you're going to see if my theory is correct, and we really are going to see a blow off top this year, okay? You get these moments where doubt, confusion, people that really can't read charts, or people that have ulterior motives with clickbait, fear porn on their YouTube channel. When this sort of price action comes in here, you know, they don't know what's going on. They start to get concerned again, but really there is nothing concerning going on here. Again, I would invite you to zoom out. Anytime you start to get something that comes into the market on a shorter time frame, on a lower time frame, and it's consolidating when you did not think it would consolidate, similar to myself. Again, I thought that, well, the odds were in our favor, by the way. We had a bull flag. I felt confident that we would break to the upside. We didn't, right? So the bull pennant failed. We're starting to come back down. All we're going to do, in my opinion, is retest some of this area within here, which we've actually already technically touched, and just continue moving up. And again, I would invite, we were down here many months ago. Then we were down here several months ago. Then we were down here a month ago. Now we're here in the present. Guys, we are forming these higher lows. That's all we're doing, all right? We're really waiting for that parabolic price action to pick up. And remember, I want you guys to really refresh your memory on what I've said. Retail is not going to start to get excited about this market. I use my mom as an indicator of retail. She's not excited about Bitcoin until it's over $50,000, right? $30,000, $40,000 is nothing, all right? Retail is on the sidelines right now for crypto. When you start to see those Google search trends going up for crypto and XRP and Bitcoin, you know that the froth is becoming to come into the market, but we're not there yet. Now, something else interesting that I wanted to take a look at here, and going to get to your comments in a moment here. On the watch list here that I have, my main watch list, you can see that the stock market is moving up. And as you know, the stock market and crypto are positively correlated, as I have covered ad nauseum on this channel. Okay, sometimes they lag one another, but in general, positive correlation means they move in the same direction. The stock market is on its way to make new all-time high. The Nasdaq being driven by 5% of the companies. You can view whatever statistic you want, but what I like to do, as much as I find all that fundamental talk interesting, and that's actually a statistic in that case, as much as I find the fundamental news interesting, and perhaps my channel will be devoted to more of that in the future, it's all in the charts. That is the name of the live stream, right? The news follows the charts don't follow the news. This is something that I continue to state on this channel, okay? It's all in the charts, literally. The data is in front of you to probabilistically tell you what is most and least likely, okay? And in this case, what we see going on, if we look at the S&P right now, we got well above this 43.25. 43.25 is etched in my mind for you guys who have been here for the past several months. Now we're pushing up into this area, which is more towards this $4,500 to $4,600 area. Once we start to break, and this is a monthly chart, by the way, on the S&P. And I'll express to you again why this is so important that you keep an eye on the S&P, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones. Once we start to get a monthly close, weekly closes over like 4,600, guys, we are so close to all-time highs up here at 4,800. You're less than 5% away from making an all-time high in the S&P. How about NASDAQ? Guys, we've already pushed up against this red zone. If you weren't here for the vertical lines, this is a historical take on when the Federal Reserve pauses interest rates and then the interest rates pick back up again. So that was in a prior live stream. Maybe I can footnote that for those people who are interested in that conversation. I probably should, but ignore the vertical lines. The point is, we are entering territories that are extremely close to all-time highs. Our all-time highs in NASDAQ are at 16,765. We're at 15,800. So we are approximately just over 5% away from all-time highs. This chart is telling me this at this point, okay? It is most likely at this point on the NASDAQ, okay, that we are either going to see a double top. We're going to come up here, okay? We're going to come up here, and we're going to top right at the same level, get a rejection, and then never see new all-time highs, or we're going to create new all-time highs in the market, in NASDAQ. And keep in mind, when we begin to create new all-time highs in the NASDAQ, in the S&P, in the Dow Jones, which, by the way, is starting to break through a major area of resistance on the Dow Jones at approximately 3,500. Okay, we're breaking through this area. Again, on the monthly. This is why it's important to zoom out and look at high time frames, because you can get lost in the noise, get lost in the woods, if you're just looking at daily charts, okay, or getting caught up with headlines, all right? Once the stock market begins to create new all-time highs, ladies and gentlemen, I wish I had my ding, ding, ding button. Risk on. The level of confidence in the stock market is going to grow. You're going to start to see headlines. We are in the middle of a new bull run. This is, my view, and make sure that you watch the Bitcoin video tomorrow. My view is that it's going to be a melt up before a meltdown. Think about it. Real quick, before I get to your questions and comments here. Coming into 2023, what was the narrative? The narrative was we were going to see a massive recession, a massive correction in the stock market, and look what has happened. I tried to tell I told family, friends, 2023 was going to be a great year, right? I don't know that anyone really listened to me, but look at 2023, what we've done. We opened, look at the NASDAQ. we opened at 11,000 and we're up here at 16,000. We've done a 50% move in the NASDAQ, right, guys? We have done what the headlines and the herd have thought we wouldn't do. So as we begin to pierce new all-time highs, which I absolutely think are in the cards this year, as I've been saying all year for those who have been tuning in, as we begin to create new all-time highs, that's when you want to should. Okay, that's the time to get cautious. Now, in my opinion, is not the time to be cautious. This entire year clearly was the year to be risk on. I mean, again, it goes counter to your human emotions. Emotion is a money killer. Something else that I repeat on this channel over and over and over again, guys. What comments and questions do we have here? And what charts would you like me to take a look at? There's only one other chart that specifically I wanted to take a look at, and it's Caspa. We need to have a conversation about Caspa because, as I had signaled today on Twitter, I've been seeing this project getting a lot of attention. I've been doing a little bit of reading on the fundamentals thanks to the... By the way, I want to call this out real quick. Thank you to the Caspa community. Guys, you can tell how much interest and how engaged people are when you tweet something out like this. Let me show you this. Look at the engagement here. I typically don't get engagements on a tweet like this. You know, I need to we're gonna pause that. Yeah, we're gonna pause that because it's being ridiculous. Okay. NordVPN's never going to be a sponsor of the show after that comment. Look at all the comments, though. I'm getting all these comments. And so I've read some of these tweets and gone to some of these sites that people have pointed me to just to read up on the fundamentals. But looking at the technicals, dear God, let's have a conversation about Caspa. It looks primed to really pump here. And it has clear wave movements here. I mean, we got a wave 1 here, a wave 2 here, a wave 3 here, a wave 4 here, and we're waiting for a wave 5. So chart looks beautiful. I established a small position, and based on what I find over the next week or two, I may establish a larger position. Let's get to comments. This is why I need the phone when I'm in an odd setup here so that I could read your comments. Okay. Yeah, by the way, appreciate the feedback on the headphones with the sound being better. I actually got new headphones. Like I have follow through. So I said I would get new headphones. I got new headphones. I have a charting question, IWM on the Russell 2000. I can take a look at that, Brian. Yeah, my mom trolls me. She does quite a bit. Gary Gensler. Gary Tyrant. I did keep the community informed of that weekly candle close because it was very critical. So let's actually take a quick look at it, and I'll give everyone a refresher who didn't see my tweet or who was not here for the live stream. So one thing, we got a Harley behind me perhaps? One thing I always want to make sure that I do nice, bro, nice. One thing I want to make sure I always do is that I remain 100% authentic and everything that I'm evaluating in the chart on an unemotional, robotic view, which is my view, that's what I'm sharing with you, right? Meaning what I'm trying to get at is, even though I am the crypto bull god, if the chart's not looking bullish, I'm going to tell you that. You guys know that. We've pulled up charts before, and I've said it looks like a dumpster fire. Flare token, that has turned into one giant motherfucking dumpster fire. Okay, it's a dumpster fire of a chart. All right, it's just the case. Until that thing turns around, it looks like a pile of shit. Okay? Here, what I was concerned with, and I wanted to keep you guys aware, let's zoom out. It was this candlestick, okay? And by the way, we were okay. What I had signaled to you guys, thin red body, this body would be thin red, and a long wick to the upside. And the story that tells is, as price has gone up here, there's buyer exhaustion. We cannot get past this level. We come all the way down and close below where we opened. The story on that is very negative. It's a trend reversal to the downside. And we went back in history and we looked at these gravestone dojis and said, hey, when there's present, maybe we have a little bit more upside. Chances are in the next coming weeks, we're going to have a pretty good correction there. So I was nervous about it. I was honestly a little nervous about it because I tweeted out that, you know, I'm going to have to evolve my line of thinking if this thing turns into a gravestone doji, because the statistics are in the lot into jeopardy. Thankfully, the body changed green. So even though even though we have a thin, don't know what's going on there. Even though we have a thin green body and a huge wick here, okay, it's not red. All right, it's not red. There's not a thin red body and a huge wick up top. Okay, so we avoided the bearish close. We avoided the bearish close. We avoided the gravestone doji. Thank you for asking that question, Greg. If you let your beard grow, you would look like Shawn Michaels. I'll take Shawn Michaels over some of the other. There's another person I've been compared to who I don't think is flatter. I'll take Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels, back in the day, those who are not following me on Instagram do not know what Jorge is referring to. I posted a photo of Shawn Michaels on Instagram doing a pose and then myself doing a pose while I was in Sarasota, Florida. And I personally think I did the pose better. That's just my honest, unbiased opinion. But Shawn Michaels, back in the day, he was a good-looking guy. No homo, good-looking guy. BitConnect looking stupid bullish. I mean, XRP looking stupid bullish. I was like, all right, what are you saying there? XRP, we can take a look at XRP. Nah, I think the special guest for Hayes is straight up. I think he identifies as a man and is a man. Let's not get into that. My joke, though, I met up with a former coworker the other day, and when I was coming in, and my joke was that I self-identify. I self-identify as a 28-year-old Italian male. So I am Italian, but I self-identify as a 28-year-old. That is my joke. More trading questions. Kathleen, thank you for the positive feedback. Yeah, I'm glad the Wi-Fi is working out actually really well out here. On whatever days I am doing the live stream this week, I'll be outside. I mean, it's too nice not to be out here. It's very very pleasant. So I'm glad that the Wi-Fi is kicking in. BCK question: did you get your SafePal yet? No, I don't physically have it. I purchased it. I did get a notification that it shipped, so thank you for the recommendation. I appreciate that. I have 5 hardware wallets and 4 seed phrases. So I have 4 private keys. So I have technically 4 unique wallets. I'll leave it at that. But I have a lot of hardware wallets. Got a fat bag of cash? I may be with you over the coming weeks. I want to do a little bit more due diligence because, again, larger bags for me are based on not just technicals but also fundamentals. If you ever get arrested, identify as a I'm excited about it, so I definitely will let you go. The only hardware wallet I can think of that I don't have is a Trezor that I was interested in. Amir Digibyte says, what do you think about Digibyte? Amir, my friend, check out the video I just released on Monday. One day later, not much has changed over that analysis, so check that video out, my friend. I own a lot of, full disclosure, I own a lot of Digibyte. I do. I own a fat stack of that. So I want to get back to the TA questions here. Oh, did not even chart Caspa yet. Let's take a look at Caspa as I have promised because I was taking a look at this today. And damn. And then we're gonna get to your charting questions. Holy shit. So general uptrend here. You can see this ascending line. Okay. This chart is so clean. I intentionally, before the live stream, as I was evaluating it, decided not to chart any areas of support or resistance. We could do it quickly together. This is a beautiful chart. How can you, as a TA person, how can you not look at this and in admiration? Okay, this is a 3-day chart. Technicals, looking go to RSI is at 68. MACD's crossed up. Stochastic RSI 98 over 89. It's looking. This chart is extremely sexy. This may be the new sexiest thing in my life. All right. Let's actually take a look at areas of resistance first. Let's go backwards and typically how I operate. We got a wick up here. We went to a high of, we're just going to call it 4.3 cents. Okay. Red is for resistance. Green is for support for those who are newer to the channel, which, by the way, drop me a comment. I would appreciate it. Drop me a comment if you are a newer subscriber and you've tuned in. So 4.3 cents, another obvious area of resistance. Look at all the touches right here. This is at about 3 points. We're going to round this. We don't have to get too cute. And we'll round down to be conservative. We'll say, oh, no, I don't like the way that looks. It's going through candle bodies. No, thank you. We'll say 3.7 cents. Yeah, there we go. So we have a major zone of resistance between 3.7 cents to 4.3 cents. Areas of support, I would say about 2.7 cents. And I'm not even going to draw it. 2.7 cents. And I don't think we're coming down this low, so I'm not even going to draw this here. 2.7 is possible. 2.1 cents, but I don't think we're coming that low. Guys, let me express to you how clean this chart is and show you what I'm looking at. There's an Elliott. I mean, you don't have to be a master Elliott wave technician, which, by the way, the guy who's coming on the live channel, the live stream next week, him and I have talked about taking an Elliott wave seminar to get credentialed as a proficient Elliott wave technician, doing that in the fall. We'll have to see if we both end up doing it. But I have a good general feel for Elliott wave. So right now, this is what I see, guys, on Caspa. So the question is, how high could we go? This is the general Elliott wave. We have our wave 1 movement up. We have a 2 here, our corrective wave, ABC correction. We have a 3rd wave movement up, which is comprised of 5 sub-impulse waves. We have an ABC correction on the way down to wave 4, which technically is right here. And now the question is, as we're waiting for this 5th impulse wave, just how high could we go? Let's have a little bit of fun here, okay? How high can we go on Caspa on this next break of 4 cents? Because it looks primed to break 4 cents soon, in my opinion. I'm not going to make this specific. Let's just for generalities here. I'm not going to get too cute here. All right. What I would do, I mean, depends how parabolic it gets. The minimum price target is 7.6 cents. I would more so look towards between this. What I've noted on a lot of projects, and it depends how parabolic they get, I would look more towards this 3.618 and 5.618. I think the next impulse could take us as high as 15 cents, somewhere between 15 and 23. And maybe we top out at 12, but I could see us going as high as 15 to 24 or 23, 15 to 23 on the next impulse. So we'll have to see. This is just an extremely clean. So if you got in Caspa, if you were in Caspa way down here at a half a cent, props to you. Even if you wrote it up and bought into FOMO at a penny, you're still up over a 3x. You're doing very well for yourself. So congratulations. Now, I want to get into some charting questions. I do see that a few came in, so let me work in backwards order here, or at the very top, in ascending order. Brian had a question. Is this not working? No? You just don't want to work? I don't understand. Why is nothing working? Okay. There we go. Nothing like things not working on a live stream. Oh, Wi-Fi just went down. Hopefully I'm coming through okay. Okay. Yeah, you can see I was charting this. The Russell 2000. Is it IWM? Yes, that's what I thought. IWM. Here we go. You know, speaking of which, guys, I wanted to share with you real quick before we take a look at this. I'll put this on a weekly. Obviously, there's a ton of price data here. My connection getting shitty now. How far back do we go on this? Okay. Something I wanted to make familiar to you guys real quick before we get into this chart. My connection is shitting out on me. Hope the video is coming through okay. Okay. Something I'll probably take a look at with you guys at some point. I'm starting to build a watch list for ETFs. Okay, as we begin to think about, um, I mean, for me personally, um, diversifying more of my assets, especially gains that I'm making in crypto, I think ETFs are a great way to do that. And I'm starting to accumulate a watch list for ETFs. You can see there's several Vanguard ETFs. So something we may take a look at in the future because, this channel is a crypto channel, but you know that I do at different points sort of divulge the conversation to go to traditional markets tied to crypto. It's important to understand what's going on in traditional markets. But also, I think it could serve to benefit everyone to understand a little bit about things like ETFs and things in the traditional markets. So, something we can take a look at. Now, Brian had a question here on the Russell 2000. Let's take a look at what we're looking at here. Um, ooh, sort of like an ascending triangle formation almost here. I gotta force that. I don't want to force it. Maybe a 2 week. Sometimes if you switch time frames, um, you may get the view you think exists. Okay, this is on a 2 week. We'll just keep it there. Main area of resistance, Brian, on the Russell 2000. We got this main area of resistance right around 201, 200. We're going to call it somewhere between 200 and 202. Then we have another area of resistance coming in. Right around there. Right around 212. This whole zone in between this 212 zone, this is going to be a major area of resistance we need to break through. Once we start breaking through that, come back to the channel. Once we start breaking like 212, you start seeing like daily closes, a weekly close above like the 212 area. Come back and we can re-examine. In terms of areas of support that I want to see hold on the Russell 2000, this is one I've actually, believe it or not, if I've charted this, it's been a very long time. I haven't charted this in I don't know how long. Areas of support. This is a 2 week chart. Ah, beautiful. There's an area of support right at 191. I would identify a zone. You guys know I don't like to get too cute on this channel. I think a lot of traders, sometimes they go to different channels because I like to see what the chatter is in the market. And I think there are some traders out there that try to get a little too cute and try to make themselves sound a little bit smarter than they actually are. I think the best thing you can do in life in general is remain humble, um, and keep things stupid simple. I really do. I think it benefits you. So there's really a zone between 187 and 191. That's what I would look to hold. If 187 does break, Brian, another area I would look for, I bet you there's price confluence right there, and there is. So really, there's price confluence at 180. Not surprisingly. Why do I say that? I saw the wick here. I go to the left, I see a wick here. I see a wick here. Even a wick a little bit through here. Couldn't get through here. A wick here. So 180. Anything in this zone is a huge zone of support. 180 to 191. If we look at the price indicators, this is a 2 week. Things are looking good. Now, I will say on the Russell 2000, what's very encouraging to see here on a 2 week chart in particular, look at the MACD. We're above zero for the first time since, September. Wow. Brian, great question on the Russell 2000. The MACD on the 2 week chart is the first time it's been above zero and positive since late September. We're going to call it the beginning of October 2020. Wow. Long time. Great question. This thing looks like it may be in the midst of a monumental turnaround here. So, great question. What other questions do we have? I know there were a few other questions that came in here. And then I'm going to take your questions and then we're going to call it a day because I think I'm making some Arctic char. Anyone here ever had Arctic char? Fish. It's similar to salmon. What other questions we got? What other questions? BTT and ETC. Ethereum Classic I own. You guys know that, I believe. I've stated such. Um, I own like all the OG coins. I think the only technical OG coin I don't own is Syscoin, SYS. Ethereum Classic. I feel like I just talked about this one actually. Did I? Maybe I didn't. We can take a quick look at it. It's getting a little hot out here. Woo. Um, or maybe the shirt is tight. Maybe I just need to rip my shirt off and do a shirtless live stream. I'm gonna start doing shirtless live streams. We'll see. We'll see if we can up the female audience. Live streams. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. You tell me. Of course, I might lose my male audience, which would not be good for the channel. So I don't know that I want to do that. Not looking to kill the channel. So that's the last thing I want to do. Yeah, the connection out here is terrible. Terrible. Who asked this question? Era AW team. I have not seen you in here before. Thank you for joining the live stream. I appreciate it. Yeah, theoretically, what I'm expecting. Well, one of the things I would communicate first on Ethereum, ETH relativity. This is Ethereum Classic to Ethereum. Those two divided out. So it's the ETC to ETH relativity chart. We're near a local bottom here, in my opinion. Could we go lower? Yes, but I think we have perhaps bottomed here, which means that Ethereum Classic could see a lot stronger upside over the coming handful of weeks and months than Ethereum. Same thing on Bitcoin. I'm not going to pull it up because everything is loading so slow. We're actually at a very long-term area of support on Ethereum BTC. You're just going to have to trust me on that one. We are at a historic low. Oops. ETC, let's take a look at ETC. Like I said, I own a chunk of Ethereum Classic. Now, keep in mind, I don't own a chunk of Ethereum Classic because I believe in the fundamentals. That's actually not why I own it. Why I own it is because of this. It's the market structure. Look at the market structure and look where we're at right now. Ethereum Classic, we're on the weekly. Technical indicators, MACD. What I really want to see on the technical indicators on the weekly for Ethereum Classic, I want to see this thing punch back above zero and start to break this descending area of resistance. It depends when we come up here, but it's going to be in the low to mid 20. There's a major area of resistance right there, actually. Let me show you that. Major area of resistance right around here. Once we can start pushing up towards 24, 25, things are going to get interesting. There's some other areas of resistance in here, but Ethereum Classic isn't going to really start to get interesting until you see closes above 45 to 60. Okay, 45 to 60. Keep in mind, a lot of these OG coins have been pumping. I think Litecoin is due for a pump. Digibyte is due for a pump. Ethereum Classic is very due for a pump as well. That actually reminds me, before I came on the live stream, I asked my father, hey, Dad, what do you want me to chart? What do you want me to take a look at? And he said Litecoin and Chainlink. And it could be perhaps because he owns Litecoin and Chainlink. And he's like, son, you've told me all these great things about crypto and this shit's not moving. So he's starting to wonder what's going on. So let's take a look at Litecoin and Chainlink. That's probably what's going on. Let's see here. Oh wow. You gotta love this connection. We're just gonna wait for this connection until it cooperates. Okay. Can't believe how slow this is moving. This is crazy. This was fine just a moment ago. Yeah, not much has changed on Litecoin. In fact, we're not getting the price movement, quite honestly, I thought we would get at this point. We're not able to stay above this 200 simple moving average. This is an ugly candlestick, actually. have to think about if that actually qualifies as a gravestone doji, but you got a medium-sized red candle and a long wick. I mean, that is a sign of a trend reversal. I mean, we might come all the way back down here to $80, and we're sitting at 92. Could see a further correction. I think we could see. I think it's more probable on Litecoin we're going to see a further correction towards 80 before we begin to move up. I don't know what I was doing here. I don't know what I was doing there. But for me on Litecoin, it's all about, this is to my father, for Litecoin, it's all about breaking this prior impulse here. Looks like we're having problems getting above 116. Once we break it and sustain price action above there, that's when things are really going to start to pick up in Litecoin, and things will pick up quick, in my opinion. Yeah, once we can get above 168, once we get above 168, we're going to have fast movements, in my opinion, towards this 237 to 303 range, so something to keep an eye on. But do not lose sight, guys. Do not lose sight. Even though price is not doing exactly what I expected, what do we have here? This is why it's important to remain patient. Is price not going like this? Guys, don't lose sight of that. Okay? So we could see something like that. Ignore the time horizon. But Litecoin, yeah, let's start pushing above 116. The other question, let's ask something else for my father here. Let's take a look at the LTC BTC relativity chart. I haven't looked at that in a long time. I own Litecoin. I don't own a lot of it, but I have some of my ledger just sitting there, not doing anything with it. Similar to like Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum Classic, Dash, Zcash, just sitting there, not doing anything with it. Wish I could get some Monero. That's one OG coin I wish I had. I wish I had some Monero, but I can't find a way to get it without breaking the law. And I personally, you guys do to each their end to create an account in Binance and do all that shit. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not risking anything with that. I've accomplished way too much in life to fuck my life up by doing illegal stuff. So right now, you can see where we're in this falling channel here. We've gravitated to this region. This is a historic region. Do you see why? I don't think you even need to, for me to, had huge bounces there, okay? We had this conversation before. We went a little bit below here, since have bounced up. Guys, we are in a pressure cooker. Wow, we are in a pressure cooker on Litecoin. BTC relativity chart. Look at this downtrend. Look at the downtrend here. And the area of price confluence right here. Okay? We're just coiled up right in here. Right in this area here. We're waiting to either move up or down, in my opinion. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But this is a historically low area for the Litecoin Bitcoin relativity chart. It is a bounce area, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Let's take a look at Chainlink. My dad also had a question about Chainlink, and then I'll get to your questions. This live stream's running a little long, isn't it? Oh yeah, we're running long today. Yes, indeed. I can't load charts. I don't know why my connection is acting so fucked up. This is actually really frustrating. Blah blah blah. All right. I just got a bullshit email confirmation about something that I just read that popped up on my phone, so that's what that blah 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 was about. Blah blah blah. Oh, life. Life is funny. Wow. Man, that bourbon is strong ass. Okay, this is Chainlink USD. I feel like I'm dialing into a modem back in 1998 to get internet service. This started off so well and it's gone so terrible in the last innings here of the live stream. My apologies. Guys, one of the things I've continued to point out on Chainlink, okay? I want you to take a look. Nothing has happened since. I haven't charted this in a while. Now, this is bullish divergence on the RSI because price is going stagnant and the RSI is increasing in value. We had a dip here, but the thing to keep in mind is that the RSI is still increasing in value. See how it's increasing? And the price is going sideways. In fact, we actually dipped in price. See how price actually dipped, but the RSI is getting stronger? What that's saying in layman's terms is that the relative strength or the momentum that is building in the price, the strength is building over time as price is going lower. Seller exhaustion. I know it's hard to believe because price continues to just chip and chop around and not go anywhere. Again, the biggest and largest gains in crypto go to those who are patient and go in the shortest span of time. Okay? Once I almost said Litecoin. Once Chainlink definitively breaks above $10, we're going to call this $10. $10 is a psychological area. Once we start to break above 10, I think we're going to make some very serious moves in Chainlink. I have areas of resistance here. My key area, if I were to give you a synopsis on Chainlink, look for it to break $10. Let's break $10. Let's stay above $10. Once we break $10 and stay above $10, we're going to start getting up towards these really like $13, $15, $20 price targets. It's going to move quick, in my opinion. Just stay patient if you're in Chainlink. Stay patient. All right, let's see what else we got here. I'm going to take one more charting question because I'm noticing what time it is, and I'm getting the stink eye on, I don't know why, but I'm getting the stink eye on helping with dinner. So, Jorge, let me share something with you. You think Caspa has pumped already? Guys, I'm not here to tell you that you're not going to see a large correction in Caspa. That's not what I'm telling you. But be careful about rotating things, or in this case, Jorge, you're actually not rotating. But you'd rather buy more Casper or NXRA. Okay, and that's fine. For me, that's not my thing. That's my personal information. But I guess it just depends on your conviction towards the token and also how the chart looks. But I will say, to your point though, I would agree with you. Caspa has been pumping. It has been pumping. We just took a look at the chart. So, I mean, I think you're coming at it from a logical perspective. The other thing I would say is Casper's been in this correction mode, correction consolidation mode. So if you were to pick up more Casper today, if you were more in favor of Casper over Caspa, I think there's a very, very valid argument for that. So I do think you're coming at it from a logical perspective. I'm not as familiar with NXRA, so I can't comment on that. Oh, I thought I had moved my box. Oh. My apologies on that. I thought I had moved the box. Must have been on my desktop. Okay. Kathleen has some questions. Josh, welcome in, brother. I just saw your comments. I did take a look at the H-bar chart recently, and I'm going to chart one, Kathleen, because I need to get inside here and help out. So let's take a look at Solana because I don't think I have a tell chart readily available. No. So Kathleen, if you come back tomorrow, I promise you, if you come back to the live stream, we will chart it tomorrow. I do not have time today, but let's give a Solana update, guys. We've been charting Solana for a while on this channel. A lot of questions coming in. I can tell a lot of people are interested in Solana. I'm beginning to know my community more and more and more. People are invested in this project, and the question is, you have this FTX FUD. What's going on with Solana? Besides the downtime they've had in their project at least 500 times. But what's going on with Solana? What have I said on this chart about Solana? What I have said about Solana is that the chart looks beautiful. And as this is coming up, I already can visualize the chart in my head. What we needed to do is we needed to break that resistance, that descending resistance. And there was a psychological area around $22, right? Since that time, look what we have done. Okay, this is a perfect lead in to what we've seen. We're not even going to look at price indicators. This is on the weekly. Guys, when we were charting Solana, I remember many live streams with you guys. Many live streams. We were all in this area. We were all in this area. Okay? Look what we have done. We have broke the descending resistance. I haven't even updated the chart. We have made significant, it may not seem like it, but let me tell you, from a TA perspective, we have made significant progress on Solana. Why do I think we've made significant progress on Solana? Downward resistance since November of 2021. For a year and 8 months, we've had this descending area of resistance and we've broken above it. That is why we've made monumental strides in the upswing and bullish momentum returning to, bullish structure returning to Solana. Okay? I have all your areas of resistance here. We got 26, 36, and 46. 26, 36, 46. Okay? This looks beautiful. The market structure on this chart looks beautiful. I've been trying to tell you this, guys, for months. Okay? I don't even hold Solana. Again, full disclosure, I own 0 Solana. But the chart does look beautiful. Chart does look beautiful, guys. Solana is in the midst of a turnaround. There's no question in my mind about that. Could Solana come all the way down and do something like this? Yes. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Could we come down to $20? I think $20 is more likely. Whatever the case is, it's very evident to me. $6 was monumental. We've just spoken about this for months. Guys, chart is in the middle of a turnaround on Solana. Thank you for the question, Kathleen. Solana is definitely in the middle of a turnaround. Guys, I may be back with you on Friday from an undisclosed location. We will see how that one goes. But continue to make sure that you click the bell icon for all notifications. You do give me a follow on Twitter. I am also on YouTube. I am on Instagram if you're into gym stuff. I try to help motivate people just from an exercise standpoint. I'm also on TradingView. It's one word. It's Crypto Bull God. If you appreciated the content, make sure to share this video with at least one person. Look out for this video, guys. Guys, this video is dropping tomorrow, very early. If you're up tonight, you'll actually see it. Wow, my internet connection. How stellar, pun intended, is my internet connection. There we go. 8-minute video. 8 minutes. And I think actual content, there's about 7 minutes. Okay? 7 minutes of TA to address in a logical fashion the 2 biggest scenarios I see for Bitcoin going into the halvening and supporting rationale why. Okay? I'm not just throwing out arbitrary price points. I'm not just saying this is going to happen or that's going to happen for no reason. I provide supporting rationale for this. So make sure that you check out this video. It's going to be live tomorrow. So make sure you check that out. And until next time.